Venezuelan men down in Texas who have been alerted that they are soon going to be deported under the Alien Enemies Act. Have you authorized that operation, and where are they going to go? I don't know about the group you're talking about, but if they're bad people, I would certainly authorize it, yeah. You know, I won an election in a landslide. We won all 7 swing states. We won by millions of votes. We won 2,750 districts to 505 districts. 2,750 to 5. That's why the map, when you look at it, is all red. And one of the biggest reason, I think the biggest single reason, actually, I'd like to say it's because of this, because I think they're going to come up with things that are incredible. But probably the biggest reason was because of the border and because of illegal immigration. And the people of this country want those people out. Because what Biden did, and I don't know if he did it, I'm not even sure he knows what the hell he was doing, but what his people did, representing him, was allow millions and millions of people from jails, from prisons all over the world, people from mental institutions and insane asylums, gang members, drug dealers, pouring into our place. And you know what? Our people voted for me to get them out. They want them out. They want them out. And we've done a hell of a job. And by the way, Ecuador and various places, but El Salvador, we've been helped by a lot of other states where they're helping us, actually. Because you couldn't, look, what this man was thinking when they allowed open borders and people to come in, if you look at Venezuela, their crime is down by 72%. You know why? They took all their criminals off the street. They took all the prisoners from jail. They took murders. 11,088 murderers were released into our country. Bad things are going to happen. Bad things. And we're getting them out. And that's why I was elected. A judge wasn't elected to do that. I was elected to do that. And we're doing it in record fashion.
Great to have you with us. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks so much for showing up. Really appreciate you being here. Welcome to the Chris Highland Show. Got a great show for you today. We got a lot of things going on that we need to talk about. We're going to do a follow-up to a story that we did just a day or so ago, where this ridiculous senator, Van Hollen from Maryland, flew down to El Salvador to demand that he get to see the illegal alien gangbanger terrorist, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And at first, the El Salvadorian government told him to go kick rocks, go pound sand, go jump into a lake, all the above. But then, in a surprising turn of events, several hours later, they did grant him the ability to see Abrego Garcia. They actually got Abrego Garcia out of CCOT. They stuck him, they put him together in a hotel, in civilian clothes, in a restaurant, so that Van Hollen could have tequila with a terrorist. Margaritas with a murderer. I mean, you pick your meme. They're all over the place. But I want to play that clip of Donald Trump because he's absolutely right. This ends up being Bukele and Trump absolutely trolling this moron. And once again, contrasting. Because again, elections, which we're coming up to midterms in about a year and a half. It's crazy, isn't it? Elections are snapshots, sound bites, and contrasts. And they are working overtime even now while they're pushing forward with Trump's economic agenda, with Trump's foreign policy agenda, with the ongoing battle to deport all these illegal aliens. They are painting contrast between themselves and the Democrats. And it's not a contrast that the Democrats should relish in, because this is going to be another loser for them. Trump was absolutely right. Check this out, because depending on which poll you look at, but in lots of polls, the number one issue was immigration. There it is right there. 2024 elections, immigration, 25% should be the top priority federal. And Trump is acting on it. Trump has already closed the border. He has shut down new illegal immigration, and he promised to deport all these people. You've seen the statistics from Harry Enton on CNN with ultra-liberal polls saying that 56% of Americans favor deporting all, not some, not just the criminals, all illegal aliens. When you frame the question, how many of you support deporting criminal illegal aliens, that number gets into the 80s. Trump is absolutely right. This is a loser issue, and I think they just trolled this moron, and he walked right into this trap. And what Bukele said, which is classic. We're going to get into that. Really appreciate everybody being here, but let's dive right into this. I got the pictures some brief images of this ridiculous meeting and Nayib Bukele's post about this. So let's check this out. First of all, there's been a lot made about this picture here because in this and other pictures, you can see, it's hard on this picture, but if you blow it up, you can actually see the MS-13 tattoo on the fingers of Abrego Garcia, the M for marijuana, and then the S, and then the 13. So it's absolutely amazing. You've got two immigration judges that have already determined that this guy is a criminal gangbanger terrorist. But there he is, there he is, and here he is having drinks, margaritas with Senator Van Hollen. So now I want to talk about this because here's Senator Van Hollen, senator from Maryland. Do you ever remember in the last 2 years, Senator Van Hollen getting up and giving an impassioned speech or stumping for or going and meeting with Patty Marin, Rachel Marin's daughter, or any of the other women who have been butchered, assaulted, unalived by illegal criminal alien members in Maryland? I can't remember anything but deafening silence on the issue from this man. But now he is willing to fly halfway around the world from Maryland all the way down to El Salvador in order to try to effectuate or browbeat El Salvador into releasing him so he can go back to the United States so he can simply be redeported again because he's got a standing deportation order. He's never, ever going to live in the United States. Yet here he is spending all this time, all this taxpayer, because guaranteed he didn't pay for this. He's gonna send this ridiculous bill to Congress. You and I are gonna be paying for this ridiculous trip so that he can go get PR photos with a terrorist. This is absolutely unconscionable. Now, so here he is. This is who he is, but this is who the Democrats are. The Democrats are all in for the criminal illegal aliens. They are all in to make sure these people stay in the country, stay victimizing other people. That is their mantra. That is their goal. Those are their values. They do not stand for regular working Americans. They don't even stand at this point for rich Americans at this point because crime affects everybody. They are not for America. The Democrats have firmly placed their flag in the America Last camp. And of course, the media is seething over this. And when the media seethes, it usually is incumbent upon Jennings and Stephen Miller to take them to task. So let's check out Stephen Miller because he had a few things to say specifically about this issue, about Bukele and this meeting and everything else. Here we go.
Sean, we've reached a point in American politics where we have one party led by President Donald Trump that fights for Americans and a second party, I guess led by AOC, that fights for illegal aliens. But not just illegal aliens, criminal, wife-beating, terrorist illegal aliens. Two immigration judges, as you said, found that he was a member of MS-13, as did the arresting police department here nearby in Prince George's County. On top of that, we have, of course, the protective order filed by his wife, alleging horrific multiple instances.
There were two?
Yes, of extreme, violent physical abuse. And then on top of all of that, he's an illegal alien and a member of what has been designated as a foreign terrorist organization. You have the entire machinery of the Democrat Party using all of its power, not to fight for lower costs, as President Trump is, or better trade deals, as President Trump is, or lower taxes, as President Trump is, but to fight to bring this illegal alien with all those horrific crimes and allegations and history against him back to the United States, where he can do what? He can commit additional acts that threaten the safety of the American people. This is the biggest, sharpest contrast you will ever see between the priorities of President Trump and the priorities of the Democrat Party.
Absolutely. Contrasts, snapshots, sound bites, and contrasts. Now they've got multiple sound bites of Donald Trump and his administration standing up for Americans, deporting these people, which is what Americans wanted, closing the border, which is what Americans wanted, and the Democrats all in pandering to and fighting for illegal criminal alien terrorists. This is just absolutely amazing that the Democrats are planting their flag firmly in the camp of the 20% or less. And Stephen Miller hit it on the head. Remember, this man, two separate immigration courts determined that he was a member of MS-13. They issued deportation orders. Now, I just want to remind you, when an immigration judge issues a deportation order, that order says this person must be deported. Must. It's not a you can if you want, must be deported. On top of that, he has been implicated in human trafficking. On top of that, his wife had 2 protective orders successfully argued for and granted against her own husband for extreme violence. On top of that, his MS-13 and terrorist ties have been corroborated by the El Salvadorian government. This man does not belong in the United States. He never needs to set foot on American soil again. And Donald Trump and his administration are the ones that are fighting for that. So now, of course, you've got more apoplectic propaganda media, talking heads, and leave it up to Scott Jennings to take them to task. Here we go. And while we pull that up, please smash that like button for me, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know we drop new content here at the Chris Highland Show. Really appreciate everybody rolling up. Here we go.
Van Hollen posted a picture of him sitting with Abrego Garcia at a table.
I see these pictures tonight, and I think, boy, the party of women is really covering itself in glory tonight. I mean, I don't understand why the American left falls in love with the worst people. You've got a gang-banging, human trafficking, wife-beating illegal alien, and a United States senator in a ludicrous display of energy is in El Salvador having Mai Tais and Yahtzee. I do not get it. I do not understand why the left takes on the heroes people like that. I don't get it.
I think
he has an adjudicated deportation order, and you have Democrat public officials falling all over themselves trying to get him back here without thinking through the next step, which is he's literally going to be deported somewhere else.
But he did have due process. Everything we know about him is documented because he did go through the court systems. He was stopped for trafficking. His wife did file these domestic violence charges against him. He was arrested with MS-13 members with a roll of cash that had the eyes and the ears and the mouths of the presidents erased, which is an MS-13 markings. This is all non-disputed.
Average American looking at this case, a lot of conflicting information. Okay, I believe some, I don't believe. An illegal alien came here in 2011, and somehow in 2025, he's still here after having been through the court system, after having been arrested with lots of people in his car, after having all this evidence.
Deport him?
He just did, and now everybody's mad about it. How did an illegal alien
him?
take advantage of our system for 14
Why
years
didn't
and
Donald
not
Trump
get
deport
away?
him?
Oh, so now they're upset that Donald Trump didn't deport him 8 years ago? You cannot make this stuff up. This is absolutely ridiculous. So now they're going to argue that, wait a minute, he should have been deported a long time ago by Trump. Trump did not have the mandate in 2016 that he has now, specifically on immigration. He had it on the border to a certain extent, but not on immigration, not to the extent that between 56 and 80%, depending on how you frame the question, of Americans want illegal aliens deported. 56% want every single one of them gone. 80% want all the criminal ones gone. That's what this is all about. And Trump is actually doing it, and the media cannot stand it, and they hate it. And they are so Trump deranged. They are so I hate Trump that they are willing to stand with the worst members of society. And I say members of society loosely because he's not a member of our society. He is a resident and a citizen of El Salvador. He does not belong in America for any reason, let alone the fact that he is a criminal living here illegally. So when I say society, I mean society, the world society in general. They will side with the worst people on the planet as long as it is against Trump. That's how deranged and sick they are. But that is what is going to help lose them the midterms and then again in 28, because the American people see through this nonsense. Donald Trump's approvals are ticking up because he is doing what working class Americans elected him to do. Revive the economy and bring manufacturing back here. Put the other countries that have been ripping us off in their place. Close the border, which he has done. Deport illegal aliens, which he is doing en masse. And I think it needs to be more. It needs to be 10,000 a day. When we start deporting 10,000 people a day, I will be happy, but we're not there yet. Let's go, Tom Homan. Step it up. This is what the Democrats are doing. They are planting their flag in all the wrong places, looking for love in all the wrong places. It's just absolutely amazing.